Die-hard TV enthusiasts say that OLED TVs aren't going anywhere. What if it's not about image quality, but profitability? We're talking financial survival. My friends, the latest news out of Korea is not good for OLED TVs. Hey friends, want to upgrade to Windows 11 Pro but can't afford the official price of $199? How about $21 or Windows 10 for $16 with my discount code SF20? Thanks to our sponsor, Whokeys. Yes, Black Friday is here. Get an additional 30% off with my code SF20. Go to Whokeys.com, add Windows 11 Pro to your cart, apply my discount code SF20, and bam, only $21. Here's how we activate it. Go to your Whokeys account at the top right under User Center, click on My Purchased Orders, click on View Keys and Code, click Get the Key, copy the Windows 11 Pro key under Code Card, then go to your system settings, scroll down and click Activation, click Change Product Key, paste the key code, click Next, and you're done. So don't miss out on these amazing deals. Click on my links in the video description below. First, let's get this out of the way. All the TV shootouts are correct, and I completely agree. OLED TV's image quality is unmatched. Whether it's QD-OLED, primary RGB OLED, or the humble basic WOLED. That infinite micro contrast, it's real, but it's kind of like saying Ferraris are unmatched. That last V8 rumble with the fine handling is amazing, but for everyone else, they don't need the very last word in performance. And here's the crux of the matter. OLED TVs who give you that last ounce of performance cost the same as a mini-LED LCD TV that's at least 2 sizes larger. Remember, consumers aren't necessarily paying more for a TV, they're getting a larger TV for the same price. And if you double your budget to $2,200, you could even get the 98-inch TCL QM6K, but for that same $2,200, you couldn't get an 83-inch LG B5. It's still a few $100s more. And if you want state-of-the-art OLED like the LG G5, it's only 65 inches for $2,000. And so we're back to that theme. The very last ounce of performance in the G5, do you need that? Or is size more important for immersion, which in itself is a benefit and a virtue that many people overlook? Omdia yesterday said that TV growth has stalled, 0% growth, but the people who are replacing their TVs, they are going larger. And if the 75-inch, 77-inch is the new size sweet spot, OLED TVs simply are not cost competitive at that size or larger. But let's follow the money. If OLED TVs were thriving, LG Electronics earnings would have shown it. But instead, the LG TV division has been in a slump all year long, with the TV segment specifically dragging the bottom line. They explained that marketing expenses increased due to the intensifying TV sales competition. In other words, they're spending more to sell less OLED TVs. How is this sustainable? It isn't. And before you say, oh, it's just LG, maybe OLED TVs are selling better elsewhere, like Sony or Samsung. How about this for some context? We know the Chinese are jumping into wherever it's profitable, and right now, LG Display is very much afraid of the Chinese company BOE, the fastest growing OLED panel manufacturer, competing directly with LG Display. So check out this article. Specifically, and this is very comical, LG Display just sent a warning letter to its partners demanding tighter protection of WOLED technology for fear that BOE is going to hijack its new features for its own supply chain. Well, get this quote. Last quarter, BOE approached Samsung Electronics and others about selling WOLED displays for their PC monitors, but Samsung said, okay, we got that, but how about selling us WOLED for TVs? And the prevailing view is that BOE's production of WOLED for TVs is unlikely. Why? The difficulty of expecting a rapid OLED penetration in the TV market. In other words, BOE would be all in if they saw money there, but they're like, we don't know. We don't see this as the future. And for the elephant in the room, OLED TV innovations have stalled. People assume that OLED TVs are getting better every year. That's not the case at all. Slightly brighter, maybe, but let's look at this year. From the LG G4 to the G5, most reviews feel that it's not worth the jump because there was no jump. Yes, the G5, in my opinion, slightly brighter, right? But then the image processing got worse. Primary RGB, supposedly advanced OLED technology, actually a step back when it came to uniformity and color shifts, right? And so, although it's a different technology, not necessarily better. The G5 reviews at best were mixed, and many thought that the G4 was a better value. Ratings, we see you. But at the end of the day, G3, G4, G5, kind of circling the Titanic, if you will, right? Moving the deck chairs around, it's sinking and the TVs aren't getting better, just getting maybe brighter here, but losing something else over there. And most importantly, it doesn't need to get brighter. I've said this before. OLED TVs, the best ones, the G5, the S95F, next year in 2026, you do not need to get brighter. The content is not asking for brighter TVs. It's asking for the content to be brighter to catch up to your OLED TVs. But your flagship OLED TVs are more than bright enough, and this is the problem. LG and Samsung Display, to a certain degree, they're trying to push this brightness. That's all you got? I don't need the extra brightness. As a matter of fact, I don't need any more innovation on the panel side. It's got 4K, looks great. Infinite contrast, looks great. Yes, QD OLED, you need to fix that ambient light lifting of the blacks and the grays and the color shift. That needs to be fixed. But other than that, on QD OLED, generally speaking, OLED is good enough. It is the cutting edge performance. At some point, it has no value to the consumer. And I firmly believe we are there with that in terms of OLED TV technology. What is it consumers actually buy? TV enthusiasts chase image quality. OLED, QD OLED. I get you. The rest of the market is chasing size. At Costco, the few enthusiasts, they're probably buying OLED. G5, C5, maybe S90F, but everybody else is looking at the 100-inch or the 98-inch TV and they're going, wow, this is amazing and it's this large and it looks very much like an OLED TV. I'm bringing it home. That is what OLED TVs are facing. And before people say, oh, people don't have room in their houses for a large TV. Actually, they do. As long as you're no closer than 9 feet away, I'm 9 feet away from a 110-inch screen and I love it. So those who are 8 feet away from their TV, they could easily hang a 100-inch, a 90-inch TV, and they're going to love the heck out of it and they're not going to go back. And that's been my recommendation for the last 2 years now. Don't get me wrong. OLED is still incredible, but stunning doesn't pay the bills. Guess what? LG is releasing for the first time TVs larger than 100-inch. LCD TVs, of course. They see the market. They're pivoting. Yes, LG Electronics will continue to sell OLED, but they need to make money, and the money is in large LCD TVs. Do you disagree? Are you getting an OLED, or you're getting yourself a 100-inch TV because, forget micro contrast, you need it large? Until next time, stop the FOMO.